The 20, I mean, we're shooting for Wednesday, we don't want to interrupt the sailing for too many nights, right? The 23rd or the 30th? Carol, what about you? The day?
30th is fine.
30th is fine?
23rd is...
Yeah, no.
23rd is...
Potentially. 23rd is probably fine too.
Right. Should I, why don't I do this? Why don't I send everybody a little email and say, this is what we want to do. Either the 23rd or the 30th. We need to have everybody there if possible. We'll get as many people on one of those 2 nights to do a site visit at what time? 6? Meet out there at 6 and meet here at 7. Okay.
I will have plenty of daylight, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, the
23rd or 30th.
23rd or the 30th. What I'll do is I'll email everybody. Okay, site visit. 23rd or 30th. 6 p.m. Okay, and then meeting at 7. And that will constitute our July meeting, because we can certainly do what we have to do with it. Give everybody a little bit of a break in July. Okay, a little more in the gym on the weather's colder. Okay, is that good? Well, and I'll do that. I'll email everybody. And these plans, we have 2 copies of these, but we'll try to get more detailed information. Keep this map, you can keep the regular map, and then I will try to get from the files those other lots and the information. So it'll be a 308 eventually, and then files. We can actually probably cite a lot of the same things. I don't think it's going to be any different, and the cumulative impacts are going to be greater because there's more development in it than there was originally. Okay?
Yeah, I think if you can pull all that stuff.
Yeah, all I have to do is go back to the tax assessors off. Right, if I can find the names of the applicants, I can remember who they are, I think. And they probably, things are filed downstairs, but I don't remember what year it was a while ago. Okay, is that good? So we'll put that on, and I'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting. It'll be the 23rd or the 30th, yeah.
Or 23rd
or the 30th. What we're going to do is I'm going to poll everybody.
The 30th is better for me because I don't have anything to record at the end of the month.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Sam, what's your email?
SREB as in boy, ECCHI @cox.net.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll email you the same thing.
Excellent.
Just send which day is better for you.
Thank you.
Okay, is that good with everybody? And maybe I can even get Justin to go out with this one. If Lisa or anybody from the planning board wants to go out, I can check with them.
Is there any value to pulling those, I forget the name of the charts that are recommended for conservation development that give a little more detail of the water?
Oh, well, that's the wetland over. Well, that's what this is. It's probably what this is, right, Carol?
So that would all be red?
I would think that if we were doing the conservation development, the map that they would go to would be the GIS layer of the wetlands. That's the one that they talked about the other night. So this is pretty much what...
Like some of it's a little bit of wetlands, it's just the whole thing.
Right. And we don't have to worry about these too much because we have a record on those, and some of them predated the 308 ordinance. So.
Do we really care too much about the precedent? I'm just curious, just a kind of
No, the point is that if we can substantiate that in the past, the commission has consistently objected to alterations like this, that's stronger than saying, well, wait a minute, what'd you do back here? And we say, well, we approved it then, but now we're going to say we disapprove it. But we can say we have a consistent record of consistently objecting to.
But even if we didn't have it consistently,
if you didn't have it,
I mean, because there was a time presumably when people could do it, and then I don't know really what the history is, but I mean, it should really just matter whether we feel it ought to be done or not, right?
Right now, right.
It should
but what you don't
almost be in a kind of a vacuum.
Right. But what you don't want to do is to go back and say, well, wait a minute, what did you do in 1995? You didn't object to it.
Right, but things change.
And the
conservation perspections change.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
And this is just a piece of advice. It's not as though
no,
there's nothing legally binding or anything about our recommendation.
But I think our recommendation, and the council may be asked to write something on this. I don't know. And we could always send that to the council. That's what we've done in the past. We've actually sent our copy of our recommendation to the council. The council this is something Ellen would do, would be take it to the council and say, we'd like the council to support the Conservation Commission's position on this. And if the town objects to it, then most likely DEM's not going to approve it. If there are substantive objections, which means you have to follow the wording in the regulations, so how you object to it. And the reasons.
Okay, well, those perfect, obviously, they're asking for
Yeah.
variances, so I mean, this is a question of how do we feel about that? And
But there are such functions and values include but are not limited to protection of life or property from flooding, providing and maintaining surface and groundwater supplies by acting as recharge areas, providing and maintaining wildlife habitat, providing and maintaining high quality recreational areas, protecting and maintaining water quality. So at least two of those are directly, impacted by this. Both the surface groundwater impacts and the water quality impacts. Probably all directly impacted by this proposal. Habitat is also more fragmentation habitat. So, and those are the things you have to put down in your issue letter. Those have to be included just the way they state them.
how can we not write that kind of a letter, given the fact that the lots covered well?
Right. No, I agree, but to give the applicant the benefit of the doubt, you want to make sure you do due diligence. You want to do diligence on these things.
Oh, no, I wasn't suggesting otherwise, nor was I, coming down one way or the other right now, just trying to get the ground rules straight.
We've been there before.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Yeah, it is, but it's
We
something.
had delineated, our consultant who we paid to do this went out and showed that there are wetlands right at the back door.
In your house here in Jamestown?
No, I just mean in this kind of a situation.
Oh, sure.
I mean, they know what they are working with.
No,
they're doing
right.
what they can do, but it's limited.
This person is either building the house for themselves or they're building it on spec, I don't know. And that's not really anything we need to worry about, but they don't live in Jane, they live in Kensington, Connecticut, and they obviously want to build something here.
Well, that doesn't matter.
But they do know the history of that. I'm sure they know the history of that property. Plus, they also know that they have a wetland issue to deal with. It's pretty obvious. So, okay, anything else on that one?